The podcast series Music as a Weapon relates about musicians who had to flee their country because of their music. Part 5. How I look in Belgium for Valtonyc, the rapper who fled from Spain. I'm in Brussels. Finally, I have an appointment with Valtonyc. His original name is Josep Miguel Beltran, that's his full name. In my documentary, I refer to him as Valtonyc. I'm just going to cross the street. It's a hassle to get there. But I'm glad Valtonyc wants to talk with me. He's not the only rapper convicted in Spain. I read in a study by Artists at Risk that Spain is at the top of the world of captive musicians. There are 14 other musicians convicted, apart from Valtonyc. If you listen carefully, here in this district of Brussels, you will hear all kinds of languages. Diary note. February 24th, 2018. I read a small article in the newspaper, hidden in the left column. Spanish rapper sentenced to 3.5 years in prison for his music. This grabbed my attention. This is Europe. Why is this Spanish rapper convicted? The article shows that he was convicted for his criticism on the Spanish royal family and for his outcry in his rap, "Death to all the corrupt politicians." In the article they say that Valtonyc is fleeing to Belgium. I have to talk to him. What's going on here? So close to us, in Spain. That's how I end up here in Brussels. This is the Avenue de Kortenberg. I'm standing in front of the government of Catalonia, waiting for Valtonyc. A lot of people passing who might be him. A bit awkward, but he promised to be here. We are clearly in the heart of Europe, close to the European Union building. A lot of cars with signs, corps diplomatique. My appointment is at 2 o'clock. I'm now standing in the street and hear a clock in the distance. He's not yet arrived. Diary note. I see similarities with the history of the fled musicians from Chile. I will ask Valtonyc when he decided to flee from Spain, how he knew that he could not stay there.
Cuando me dijeron que tenía 10 días para entrar en prisión y además no en unas condiciones normales de prisión, sino bajo un régimen antiterrorista. Tenía que entrar en un régimen FIES que supone a un
I left when I heard that I had to go to an anti-terrorism prison 500 kilometers from my home.
No solo tendré que sufrir la prisión, sino que además voy a tener que sufrir un régimen antiterrorista por hacer unas canciones.
I knew I would suffer, not only in prison, but also under that anti-terrorism regime.
Porque allí voy a tener más voz, voy a internacionalizar el caso.
I fled to get international attention for my case at the European Court of Human Rights. I think here in Europe people are more intelligent and sensitive regarding human rights than in Spain. You went to Belgium. Did you know about
Bueno,
the Catalan refugees here? I
un
asked
par de
Valtonyc.
cuestiones. Una cuestión es que esto es el centro de Europa y pensaba que hablar
Partly,
desde
he
aquí
says.
era muy
This is the
importante
heart of
porque es la
Europe.
capital
I thought they will
de
listen
Europa y
here to
pensaba
me.
que me escucharían más
Not like
de lo
in
que me han
Spain.
escuchado. Y aquí en Bélgica,
Belgium
pues,
is better with
últimamente se
human
había
rights.
posicionado
The
a
case
favor
law
de los
is
derechos
independent,
humanos y ha
without
demostrado tener una
ideology.
justicia independiente que no tiene una ideología. Y bueno, aquí también hay la base del independentismo catalán, que está
Moreover,
claro que me
here
serviría
is the basis of the Catalan independence
internacionalizar no
movement.
solo el caso fuera de
Certainly,
Europa, sino que
for my
en
case,
España,
that's useful.
porque Puigdemont es
In
muy
Europe and in
famoso
Spain,
y ver que yo estaba a su lado
Puigdemont
me
is
ayudaría
famous.
también a ganar
That certainly
apoyo en
helps
el
me.
Estado español y creo que hice muy bien. Tenía varias opciones, Bélgica era
My
una
choice
y
for Belgium was well made, I think.
esto lo he hecho bien.
Diary note, April 16th, 2019. I listened to the radio in my car. A program about the Spanish elections on April 28th. The PSOE would win the elections with 30% of the votes. Vox, the right-wing party, would gain almost 12%. They are a fierce opponent of the Basque and Catalan independent movements. Vox calls itself anti-separatist.
Verkiezingen in Andalusië. En ja, jij was daar dus bij. En was daar ook een verklaring voor?
Last year, Vox won a large number of the regional elections in Andalusia. It was not probed, therefore a big surprise. The explanation for Vox growth is that in Andalusia, where Vox voters are based, the fear is that the Catalans will break free from Spain. Catalonia is rich. If they break free, it will turn out badly for the Andalusian population.
Niet handig om jezelf als een Frankist te afficheren, omdat die herinneringen aan de Franco-dictatuur nog veel te vers is.
It's not smart to call yourself a Frankist. The memory of the Franco dictatorship is still fresh.
Bueno, se llama franquismo residual y sí, es un problema de no haber hecho una transición
I think the
realmente
Franco
democrática.
regime is still present in the government. It's called the residue of Frankism. There was no real democratic transition. None of the judges have been convicted.
Jueces que han mandado a asesinar gente por motivos ideológicos siguen en el poder.
These judges have murders on their conscience.
Entonces, ¿cómo es posible que la gente piense que solo cambiando el nombre de un tribunal va a cambiar el veredicto de un juez
that
que
it's
mandaba
enough
a fusilar a
only changing the court name,
un día después?
as they did in Spain?
Y claro, eso demuestra que a diferencia de Alemania, a diferencia de Italia, donde ha habido
In
una
contrast to
depuración de
Germany,
responsabilidades,
in contrast to
depuración de
Italy,
instituciones,
where a
España no lo ha
cleansing of
habido, en España no lo ha
responsibilities
habido y
took
lo
place,
estamos pagando.
not
Es
in
la falta de
Spain,
la memoria
and we
histórica.
pay the
Tiene
price for that.
reconocimientos de la Guardia
It
Civil.
is a lack of
Bueno, y el
historical
mismo
memory.
rey ya lo puso Franco,
The King
y
of
juró
Spain has
el
supported
rey
Franco.
mismo de España juró a Franco que habría unidad.
¿Y tú
Do you think to
piensas
continue your life here?
continuar la vida aquí
Yo,
por seguridad?
yo de momento no puedo salir de
My
Bélgica,
lawyer,
pero igualmente
Paul
Paul
Becard,
Becard,
told
mi
me
abogado, me ha dicho que no
I
es
can't
seguro que
leave
salga de
Belgium
Bélgica,
because
porque
of the
al ser una
conviction
condena
for
por
terrorism.
terrorismo, la
Direct
extradición
extradition
es
will
automática,
follow.
y aquí en Bélgica
when I
hemos
cross the
tenido la
border.
suerte de poder afrontar esta
In Belgium we
extradición
were lucky
ganándolo,
to cope with this
pero en otro
extradition.
país no.
We won our case.
No
In
hay
France,
seguridad,
for
y,
instance,
por ejemplo, en
I'm not
países
safe
como
at all.
Francia, donde tienen pactos con España, es
Ya no.
mucho menos.
The bars will open soon. I'm sitting on a bench for a cafe. Valtonyc tells me he's not against extradition. He says each extradition must be investigated with valid reasons, not underlying politics. That reminds me of the stories of other musicians who
Para
had
el
to flee.
arte, estar expulsado es otra cosa, ¿no?
Sí, sí, en el arte.
I tell him, extradited
claro, es
for
que
your
cuando hablamos
art.
de arte no hablamos de
That's
política.
quite a different
No
story.
hablamos de un panfleto político, no hablamos de la
I
responsabilidad de
asked
un medio de
Valtonyc,
comunicación.
why all
¿Por
the
qué
fear
en
right
España
now?
tiene tanto miedo
In
a la
Spain,
música?
for this kind of music?
¿Las palabras o qué es?
Bueno, España está viviendo ahora mismo una crisis de legitimidad, no
Spain
solo
is in a
cuanto
legitimacy
libertad de
crisis.
expresión, sino también
The
una
government
crisis de
has shaky
legitimidad
support.
que proviene de una crisis
Not only freedom of
política,
expression is under
económica y
pressure,
también monárquica. Entonces tienen
there's an
que
economic and political crisis.
usar el
The
terrorismo.
monarchy also is in
Es
crisis.
la forma de gobierno mediante el miedo. Y lo que
To
están
cover up that
intentando es poner
crisis
condenas
and to spread
ejemplares
fear,
en
the fear of
diferentes
terrorism
casos para
is
sacarnos de
used
cabeza de turco.
or abused.
Por ejemplo, a mí,
In the
me
rule
están
of law,
diciendo,
they create
no
scapegoats,
opines sobre la
like in my
monarquía,
court
no opines
case.
sobre los políticos, no opines sobre la violencia policial, no opines sobre la desigualdad
They say
social en
don't speak
Twitter,
about
no
politicians.
hables.
They say don't think about police violence. Don't think about social inequality.
La peor censura de todas, que la peor censura de todas es la que uno se impone.
Then, the worst censorship of all is there, your self-censorship.
Sí, y es la peor censura de todas y es la que busca. Yo no soy el único rapero condenado
I'm
ahí.
not the only rapper convicted in Spain.
18
There are
raperos.
18 others.
Somos el top 1 del mundo.
We are in the
dicho
top
por,
1 of the world of
Artistas
captive
Free,
musicians.
Free Muse, el top 1 de artistas condenados a
This
cárcel por
according
hacer.
to Artist at Risk, Free Muse.
¿Y qué textos, qué rap?
Which text gave you the most problems?
Todos en general,
The rap I was
desde
convicted for was about the king,
y más han perseguido la de contra el rey.
the Bourbons, the Spanish royal family. I got 3.5 years
En
for
total
that.
son 3 años y 6 meses de cárcel y como que las otras canciones han pasado muy desapercibidas y la que más se han fijado es la de contra el rey, contra el Borbón.
In his rap, Valtonyc is a political provocateur with a wink. Just as rappers with their lyrics must be provocative.
Per a no despertar ni a ser de tres. De tercera edat també passa fam, però aplaudeixen els monarques masoquistes ignorants. No poden triar, no tenim cap opció, però un dia ocuparem mar i vent amb un Kalashnikov, ell, respectuós a la
Valtonyc raps. One day we conquer Marivand Castle with the Kalashnikov. Marivand Castle is the summer residence of the Spanish royal family.
Des de l'illa també lluitant per la tercera república, companys. En Laan se'n dona compte i se vol morir, que el seu predí un dictador el va elegir, que perteneixia a los Gal i que no és democràtic sinó un dictador mascarat.
Valtonyc calls Felipe González a dictator. He was a member of the GAL. The GAL is a paramilitary group that was set up by the government against the ETA in La Guerra Sucia, the dirty war. Diary note. On March 23, 2018, the Spanish Supreme Court accused 25 Catalan leaders of rebellion. The crime of rebellion has a maximum prison sentence of 30 years in Spain. 7 of these politicians, indicted by the judge, are in exile and on the run from justice, including Puigdemont. Valtonyc is also in exile in Belgium. I realized that when I talked to him. I also realized he can never come to the Netherlands. The international investigation order stops him. He cannot cross the Dutch-Belgian border. He's imprisoned in Belgium. In the summer of 2004, Theo Maassen, a Dutch rapper, recorded Death Threat. Maassen wrote the song with a big fat wink. His reasons were serious: infringement of the free word. In Death Threat, he therefore announced that he would be chasing down a good member of the well-known Dutchman.
Dit is een doodsbedreiging, bepaalt geen loze praat. Ik ga er een paar slopen, ik heb een handgranaat. Word ik gearresteerd, nou zet ik nou aan tot haat. Kom op, dan arresteer me dan, of wordt het heterdaad. De eerste
This is a death threat. No empty words. Going to demolish a few. I have a hand grenade. If I'm arrested, did I incite hate? Come on, arrest me then. Arrest me in the act.
Bepaalt geen loze praat. Ik ga er een paar...
If I compare Death Threat with Valtonic's lyrics, it's a good thing that Maassen doesn't live in Spain.
Het is toch hoe het gaat? Allemaal de volle laag, het hele arsenaal. Barend en Van Dorp, Jan Mulder en Van Gaal.
Everybody gets a turn. Bullets I have plenty. If I were the queen, I'd run fast. Maassen was certainly convicted in Spain. In the Netherlands, not a chance. 2 European countries. Such a difference in case law. Next time in Music as a Weapon, how I met Valtonyc in Belgium, how I ended up with his lawyer, Mr. Becard, who also defended the Catalan politician Puigdemont, a heavyweight. How did the two find each other?